is Good Day Austin.
Hi, everybody. 6 o'clock on your Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. Every morning lately, I think it can't get any warmer and muggier, and every morning it seems to get just a little bit worse than it was the day before.
Heat in the seas already in the mid to upper 80s.
Oh, man.
You kidding me? It feels like the tropics around here. It feels like it wants to rain, and today is the day when the showers and thunderstorms will really increase here in the Austin area. Besides some drizzle, that is about it. We are tracking a few tiny showers down in Caldwell County near Lockhart, and then the heavier rains, northern hill country in Lampasas County. Pockets of heavy rain and also some lightning, a sign of things to come. The dry line's a little bit closer to us, putting us in a prime position to see more rain and thunderstorms as the day goes along. It's going to come at us in waves. Look how warm and sticky it is. Mid to upper 70s, heading for the low to mid 80s. Rain and storm chances increasing throughout the day, lingering in the evening hours. And we're tracking this Pacific low that's going to energize the atmosphere and create round one of the storms today. Will it hang around all the way through the holiday weekend? We'll talk more about that and check out future radar coming up in just a few moments.
All right, let's head out to Randy Taylor. She's checking on the roads on this Thursday morning. Hey, Randy.
Hey there, Dave. We are starting to see some of our rush hour delays pop up around the metro, just mainly out of South Austin on northbound 35. But you can see here 35 and near 51st Street. There's still plenty of room to move here, so rush hour hasn't completely come in this morning yet, and no incidents to report. So if you are about to head out and travel southbound on 183, you have the green light, lots of green on the map. So from the toll road to the 35 ramps, you're looking at just around an 11-minute drive. I'm Randy Taylor, Fox 7 Traffic.
This morning, as the search continues for the person throwing rocks at cars along I-35, police are considering two ideas to try to prevent more of these incidents.
It includes shutting down a stretch of the lower deck and putting up signs to warn drivers to be on the lookout. Nick Spinetto is live along I-35 with more details. Nick.
Hi, good morning to you both. And you know, the Austin Police Department is considering all options when it comes to these rock throwing attacks here along I-35. Now, most of these 83 cases have been happening at night or the early morning hours. That's when the lower deck has the least amount of traffic, making it easier for whoever is throwing the rocks to do it and get away. Police think closing this stretch during the overnight hours won't cause any major traffic problems. They also support putting up signs to alert people of the issue, since not everyone who drives through this area is from the Austin area. Police want to work with TxDOT to make sure these ideas happen.
Closing the lower deck and only using the upper deck through that time period is a possible strategy. We also realize that while this may be locally a very media intensive series of events, we also recognize that we have visitors traveling through Austin along I-35 who may not know about the rock throwing incidents. The signage would be a helpful tool.
Now, police say all of these ideas will be discussed by a task force they're putting together. TxDOT is expected to be part of the group. We're live here in Austin this morning. Nick Spinetto, Fox 7 News.
We now have pictures of the pickup that police believe hit and killed a 3-year-old boy Sunday. They released these photos snapped by a Capital Metro bus of an early 2000s model Chevy Silverado 2500. The truck has a ladder and a cowboy hat on the dashboard. Police believe this is the truck that hit 3-year-old Ethan Hernandez Sunday night along Cameron Road. If you recognize this vehicle, call police. A man is dead after a late-night crash in central Austin. It happened just after 11 last night in the 5300 block of I-35. Police say a white man in his 30s tried to cross the interstate. As he approached the highway divider, he was hit by a car heading south and was thrown into the northbound lanes. The man was pronounced dead on the scene. The driver was not hurt and is cooperating with police. He's not been charged. Police want to remind everyone how dangerous crossing a highway is.
When it comes to these high traffic roads, 35, 183, Mopac, do not cross unless you have a bridge or a pedestrian way, because once you get on these roads, people cannot stop when they're going as fast as they are, and it's extremely dangerous.
There have been several auto pedestrian crashes in this same area. City ordinance makes it illegal to cross a highway.
Thieves are getting better at stealing credit card information, especially at local gas stations. And that's where several credit card skimming devices have been found in our area. Travis County Sheriff's Office says clerks found 2 skimmers at their gas stations on Wells Branch, and another was found on a station off of Highway 71 in southwest Travis County. Officials say an increase in credit card abuse alerted them to the growing problem. Investigators took a proactive approach by checking about 60 local gas station pumps. They also educated the clerks about how to check for skimmers. Some of them are easy to spot, but thieves are also getting pretty savvy. Sometimes they unlock the face plates at the pump and attach the skimmers inside, also using wireless technology to help with their scheme.
Recently, they switched to a Bluetooth system to where all they have to do is drive back up, provide a passcode to the Bluetooth device inside the gas pump, and then download the data and then go about their business.
Sergeant Crow says the best thing to do is just use cash if you can. Use a gas station credit card or go into the store to pay with a card. If you have to pay at the pump, he says use a credit card, not a debit card, because scammers can get your PIN numbers and take all the money from your account.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is trying to stop the state's public schools from being required to allow transgender students to use the bathroom of their choice. He filed a lawsuit yesterday along with 10 other states that jumped on board. This comes in response to the Obama administration's directive earlier this month, which says that transgender students should be able to use bathrooms and locker rooms that match their gender identity. Schools that do not abide by the administration's interpretation of civil rights under the Title IX law may face lawsuits or loss of federal funding. As a result, Paxton is taking action to protect Harold ISD in North Texas. That district has chosen to require students to use the restroom that matches the gender on their birth certificate. Their policy also allows for accommodations, but Paxton says there is no case-by-case basis in the federal directive.
It now opens the door for anybody, no matter what they are and how they're thinking. They can change their gender for a day and have the ability to walk into a women's locker room.
This is about transgender children that have an absolute, insistent, consistent, and persistent gender identity that is different. This isn't about one day saying I'm a boy, next day saying I'm a girl, going back to being a boy on a Wednesday.
The lawsuit filed Wednesday goes on to say, quote, defendants have conspired to turn workplaces and educational settings across the country into laboratories for a massive social experiment, flouting the democratic process and running roughshod over common sense policies protecting children and basic privacy rights, end quote. The transgender community says that they are being painted as predators. They point out that there have not been any cases where any crimes have been committed in restrooms or in locker rooms. Meanwhile, Alamo Drafthouse is trying to rethink the concept of the restroom from the ground up. Drafthouse founder and CEO Tim League posted these blueprints on Facebook this week about a proposed gender-neutral restroom at the new Miller location. It's being built now in East Austin, and an architect for Drafthouse says there will be no men or women labels anywhere. Instead, there will be individual stalls complete with a private toilet and sink and a door. Alamo Drafthouse Miller is expected to open later this year. Dave and Amanda?
Lauren, thanks. Well, coming up, we all know we have to pay for it every time we pull an all-nighter.
We've all played the sleep catch-up game, how it could be hurting your health. That's coming up next. Right now, it is 6:09. If you didn't get enough sleep last night and woke up a little grumpy this morning, get in line. Americans are chronically short on sleep. They call it sleep debt. And many of us try to catch up by sleeping in on the weekends. But does that really work? Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin joins us live from Atlanta with some answers. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning, Amanda.
Beth, so can we catch up on missed sleep by snoozing a little bit late on Saturday and Sunday morning?
I think we can catch up to a certain extent, but unfortunately, I don't think we can ever really pay back sleep debt in one weekend, because I think, if you think about it, if you're, say, short on sleep 1 hour or 2 hours a night, that adds up to 5 to 10 hours by the time you hit the weekend, and no amount of sort of sleeping in or taking naps is going to help you catch up, if you're 10 hours in debt, into sleep debt. So that can be really hard to do. Amanda?
Beth, by sleeping in, people might get perhaps a false sense of recovery.
I think so, because, we think that we can just sleep in on Saturday and Sunday a few extra hours and pay it back. But unfortunately, once we start to get kind of chronically sleep deprived or chronically in sleep debt, it throws our body off where it almost starts to feel like the new normal to us. So we actually feel like we feel fine when we're not really performing on our best level and we're not really doing fine. So our mind can kind of trick us when chronic sleep problems sort of sneak up on us. It's hard to get a clear picture of, are you getting enough or do you need more sleep? Amanda?
Beth, is the problem that we don't prioritize sleep?
I think it's a couple of things. I think, we don't prioritize sleep, but I think also, many of us have so much on our plate that something has to give, and oftentimes it's sleep that gives. And a lot of us don't have a very good wind down routine in the evening. So we're on our gadgets, we're watching television, we're highly stimulated, and then boom, we try to just flip the switch and go to bed. That's really hard to do. You need to give your body, a little bit of time to wind down, about a half an hour at least before you go to bed, to be able to fall asleep. And that's challenging for a lot of people. Amanda.
Beth, last question. How can we get rid of sleep debt?
So a good way to start is gradually, kind of like you'd pay back a financial debt in small amounts. And a really great idea is if you're going into a summer vacation, to just throw away the alarm clock for a week or however long you have. Go to bed when you feel tired, get up when you feel awake, and just ignore the alarm clock. And a lot of times that will gradually help your body catch up. And then once you get back to town and get back to work, into your cycle or school or whatever, try to go to bed a little bit earlier each night. So just maybe 15-minute increments of getting more each night. You can start to slowly pay back that sleep debt and start to feel a lot better. Amanda?
Great tips, Beth. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Good Day Austin AccuWeather with Fox 7 meteorologist Zach Shields.
At least this week, we didn't have any thunderstorms to wake us up in the middle of the night to ruin our beauty sleep. But we will be on storm watch today. Right now, lots of clouds. It's muggy. Pockets of light to moderate rain. 15 minutes after 6 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Radar going round and round. And you can tell the atmosphere is becoming more unstable because we're already tracking some rain and thunderstorms. Some harmless showers sliding up 183 near Mustang Ridge. Over here in Hayes County, very light rain moving into the Austin metro. Some of the roads will be damp. Hit and miss showers in Burnett County along Highway 281. Thunderstorms moving away from Lampasas. Yeah, this batch of rain is lifting to the northeast, producing perhaps pea-size out of some of those storms. But the storms are below severe limits, cranking out quite a bit of lightning, over 2,000 bolts in the last 30 minutes. Round 2 of the thunderstorms will occur later on today, and they could turn a little feisty. Heads up from Austin to the Hill Country, you're under slight risk for severe weather, enhanced risk out toward the Concho Valley near San Angelo. What does a slight risk of severe storms mean? 15% chance of large hail damaging winds within 25 miles of your location. Not everybody's going to experience it, but there is that possibility in that shade of yellow out in the Hill Country. Damaging winds, large hail, medium threat, high threat of lightning, low to moderate threat for flooding. All week long, we've had one ingredient for rain, moisture. Today, we're going to add 2 more. The lift from the dry line, the instability thanks to that upper low. Aloft, the temperatures are cooling off, becoming more unstable. That's why the showers and storms are showing up already, and the dry lines even closer to us, putting us in a prime spot for rain and thunderstorms throughout the day. And by the afternoon and this evening, rain chances will really climb. Our computer weather models have been struggling with this setup. The latest high-res model really wants to enhance the rain this morning. I think it's jumping the gun here. Yes, we'll have some hit and miss showers this morning, but nothing like what the model's depicting here. I think we'll have scattered showers this morning, and then round 2 will develop this afternoon. Late in the day, storms rumbling in from West Texas, entering the Hill Country around dinner time, and perhaps the Austin metro by mid to late evening. Then things settle down late tonight, and then we'll gear up for another round tomorrow. Very good chance we're going to add to these hefty rain totals. Not too many cool spots showing up across the state. Got to go all the way up to Amarillo to find lots of 60s. Heated to seas for us already in the mid to upper 80s. That's how it feels if you factor in the high humidity. Feels like 90 in Corpus Christi. Mid to upper 70s across the board, 78 here in Austin. Heat index of 84 with that high humidity at 90%. Lots of cloud cover, dew point temperature of 75. Very sticky. Molds cut in half. We'll take it. Back in the medium range, low amounts of grass pollen, winds, a little feisty at times, 10 to 20. Those winds are trying to give us a heads up that Pacific storm system is getting closer to us. It's tightening the pressure gradient. 70s early on, will turn into low to mid 80s. Temperature's not out of control because we're not going to see any sunshine, and then the rain will start to move on in. It won't be as warm tomorrow morning with lows dropping in the upper 60s, low 70s, mid 80s tomorrow to wrap up the work week, upper 80s going into the holiday weekend. Can you guess where the storm zone is going to be? Yeah, where the chilly air meets the warm and muggy air, right down the middle of the country. Look at all the storm reports yesterday. Red dots indicating 14 tornado sightings. Again, some big tornadoes in Kansas. There is that tropical flow feeding in the cloud cover and the fuel for some rain. Here is the spark, the upper low. That's going to provide that extra lift and instability, and the clouds will turn into rain producers later on today and again tomorrow. This low is actually going to break up into two pieces. One piece heading toward the Midwest. The other piece will back up, meaning, yes, we'll see some storms in West Texas, but they're going to be struggling to reach us during the holiday weekend. So I would not cancel your outdoor activities Saturday, Sunday, and Memorial Day. Keep a close eye on the sky later on and keep the rain gear close by. Rain and storm coverage will really increase. Let's fast forward into your Friday. Severe storms flirting with the area tomorrow morning, and then the storms will refire a little bit closer to us mid to late afternoon, and then things turn tranquil going into the weekend. Today, parts of Central Texas under slight risk for severe weather. Everybody under that slight risk for severe weather tomorrow. Future rain totals going up and up and up. First round could deliver inch, inch and a half. Second round, you add that in there. Some spots could end up with 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's why we're going to call for a low to moderate threat for flash flooding and river flooding. High of 84, patchy light rain here and there this morning. Rain and storms developing this afternoon, carrying over until the evening hours. After midnight, turning tranquil. May have to dodge some more showers and storms tomorrow. Rain less likely, not a total washout for the weekend. Still warm and sticky, mid to upper 80s, and we'll keep it that way with the rain and storm chances increasing next week.
Let's head outside, see how traffic is shaping up with Randy Taylor. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Amanda, and good morning to you at home. You can see our commuter volumes have definitely started to stack up in the past few minutes. This is 35 at near 51st Street, and it is wall to wall out there. And we did just get reports of an accident working northbound 183 approaching McNeil Drive. It's at Rita Trace Parkway. Not too much congestion in the area right now, but I have a feeling that will be changing in the next few minutes. Now, if you are about to head out and travel westbound on 290, still lots of green on the map. So from FM 973 to 35, you're looking at just around an 11-minute commute. I'm Randy Taylor, Fox 7 Traffic.
Coming up on Good Day Austin, he might be saved by the bell, but he's not saved from jail. Dustin Diamond is back in the slammer also. Shia LaBeouf is using a hashtag to hitchhike across America. And you can join in on the fun next. Good morning, everyone. It is 6:30 on this Thursday, May 26th. We're glad you're waking up with us right here on Good Day Austin, waking up to another warm morning, but we got rain on the way.
Yeah, maybe that'll change things a little bit, maybe make it feel a little bit better, right, Zach?
Some cooling showers later today. That's a good possibility. All week long with all the dark clouds that look like it wanted to pour, not a whole lot of rain. That's going to change here for part 2 of the work week. Taking a peek outside with our sky cam. Some drizzle for the drive in to work. Heavier rains off to our north. All the pieces to that storm puzzle slowly coming together. The dry line advancing more to the east. The upper low to energize the atmosphere, make it very unstable. To get the rain and thunderstorms to really fill in. Most of the action again north of the capital city. Some dying thunderstorms north of the hill country. We're hanging out in the mid to upper 70s, close to 80 in LaGrange, San Marcos, Georgetown. Have the umbrella on standby today. Rain and thunderstorms increasing throughout the day. I think it's going to come at us in waves. Light rain this morning, then we'll get a break early to mid-afternoon, and then the main event will hold off until late in the day into the evening hours as the storms get their start out along the dry line in West Texas, and then we're expecting a huge complex of thunderstorms to rumble across the area as we close out the day. Parts of Central Texas under slight risk for severe weather, and the computer weather model is very consistent, showing quite a bit of rain, so don't miss that complete forecast coming up in just a few moments.
Let's head outside, see how traffic is shaping up with Randy Taylor. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Amanda, and good morning to you at home. You can see just a sea of headlights out on 35 at near 51st Street as rush hour continues to come on in this morning. But we do have an incident working northbound 183. It is approaching McNeil. Not too much congestion in the area right now, but I have a feeling that will begin to stack up as rush hour continues on for this time of the morning. Now, if you are about to head out and travel northbound on Mopac, no delays here just yet, so still a lot of green on the map. That's giving you just over a 10-minute drive from Slaughter to Northland. I'm Rainey Taylor, Fox 7 Traffic.
After the failure of Prop 1 in this month's special election, Uber and Lyft, as you likely know, decided to leave Austin, and now supporters of the ride-sharing companies want to bring them back. Fox 7's Nick Spinetto is live in Central Austin with more on that plan. Morning, Nick.
Hi, good morning to you. And supporters of both Uber and Lyft want to make sure their voices are heard, and they're going straight to City Hall to do it. Tonight, advocates of the ride-sharing groups and companies, rather, are going to be rallying outside the council members' offices in downtown Austin. After Prop 1 failed, Uber and Lyft voluntarily stopped serving Austin. They said they didn't support council's background checks and mandated fingerprinting. Instead, the companies wanted to continue with their own background checks. Now, with Uber and Lyft in leaving Austin, that left about 10,000 people unemployed. Though new ride-sharing services are starting here in Austin, some argue Uber and Lyft are the gold standard of the industry and want them back here. Now, tonight, city council members rather agree they want to work with the companies to get them back.
I think the best way to help the 10,000 plus drivers who are out of work is to get Uber and Lyft back to our city as quickly as possible.
Uber and Lyft are enhanced, affordable ride-sharing programs that offer efficient and safe rides and reduce traffic. It's a technology that responds to the demands, growth, and expansion of the city.
Now, the rally supporting Uber and Lyft starts tonight at 6 o'clock outside Austin City Hall. We're live here in downtown Austin, or in central Austin, I should say. Nick Spinetto, Fox 7 News.
All right, Nick, thanks.
Some local KDOT officers and their handlers are getting special training on how to detect explosives at big events. They took over DKR Stadium at UT yesterday to make a sweep of the venue. Their task was to track down a highly flammable substance called TATP. It's hard to detect because it typically doesn't give off a noticeable smell unless you have a very special nose.
The dog has the sense that's a million times better than a human, and when he understands that this is something that he will get rewarded for, then he knows for good 6 to 12 months that this is something he's going to let us know that's not supposed to be here.
TATP has been used by terror groups in recent attacks.
Texas is one of 11 states now suing the Obama administration over its directive to public schools. The president has said that schools should let transgender students use the bathrooms and locker rooms that match their gender identity. Schools that do not abide by the administration's interpretation of civil rights could face lawsuits or lose federal aid. The state's lawsuit against the Obama administration says the guidance has, quote, no basis in law and could cause huge changes in school operations. Some Houston homeowners who suffered from repeat flood damage are now suing the city. They say improvements at a commercial development were made without proper drainage, causing hundreds of homes to flood. Mayor Sylvester Turner says that's not the case and rejected the accusations of political favoritism toward developers. An incredible story of survival out of Waco, where a woman is hit by a car and thrown off the overpass with her baby in her arms. The infant only had a scratch. The mother did suffer some serious injuries. Part of her leg was severed, her pelvis broken, and she had internal injuries. This photo shows the moment that she and her 8-month-old Daniel were reunited at a Waco hospital. Police say that she was involved in a minor crash on I-35 last week. After she got out of the car with her son, a vehicle then hit their car, sending her and her son and another woman over the railing. They fell 30 feet to the street below. To help the family with medical costs, you can go to our website, fox7austin.com, and click on the online version of this story under local news on our homepage. All right, and check this guy out. A 7-foot-long elevator was found at a Dallas middle school. I don't know if we're going to see him. A sheriff's deputy, there he is, spotted him, called for help. Game wardens were able to catch it with help from police, then release it at a game preserve in southern Dallas County. No word on how he got to that school, though. Dave?
All right, more thanks. Coming up on Good Day Austin. Have you ever sent a text message or email to the wrong person? Well, Imagine if that happens and your boss is running for president. I'll have that story after the break.
Sorry, raining out across the northern hill country like in Lampasas. 300ths of an inch so far. More on the way. 76 degrees. Heat index of 81. Light rain in Austin, 78. Look at the heat index in LaGrange, 87. Something has to give. It is very warm and sticky. The dry line and that Pacific low will team up and bring in multiple rounds of rain and thunderstorms. We'll look at that complete forecast for the rest of the week into the weekend coming up next.